Hello, this is FF TCG and I want to talk today about Opus 6 is coming out, about a Final Fantasy trading card game. I get some thoughts, and also we see a lot of spoilers and want to talk about that. So yeah, about Opus 6 we get about 130 new cards, we get 14 legends, 26 heroes, 36 rares and 54 commons, so we get 21 cards for each color and 2 dark and 2 light cards. So that is a split, you can see it, and yeah, it's like the older ones. We get a bit more, a bit less cards. I think Opus 5 and Opus 4, what about, I think 160, 150, and now 130 is not much, but I hope that's still relevant. So we get also for Opus 6 new illustrations. We get some illustrations from Matsuda Toshitaka for Final Fantasy 2, Ryo Maito for Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2, and Grimoire of the Rift. We see some new illustrations there, and also from Roberto Ferrari, the Italian illustrator who draws for Final Fantasy Type 0, and he confirmed in an interview that he will draw 5 new illustrations for Final Fantasy Type 0. Yeah, also we get some spoilers. You can see that we get in the Legend row and in the Hero row some Final Fantasy 2 characters in wind, water and fire. You can see that we have on Legends here that we have here Firion, Maria, Minyu, and also in the hero spot we get Guy, Leon and Scott. Don't know what happens with Earth, Lightning and Ice, if there are Final Fantasy 2 characters too. I'm not sure about that. So, but it seems that 3 colors are just for Final Fantasy 2, and yeah, I'm not sure what also some other spots will be. We get also from other Final Fantasy types, Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 1, we get from Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy 9, a complete mix. We see Kuja, Yuna, Leo, Garland. Also in the hero spot we see some Type 0 cards. We see some Final Fantasy 14 cards. That surprised me too. And yeah, we talk about that later. I talk also about that cards and what are my thoughts about these cards. And the last thing I want to talk about is the monster, or the monster. About Final Fantasy Opus 6, we see that many monsters are from Type 0. We see Mushishu, Wingvern, Dyphon, Colossus, Snow Giant, and so on. So I think there will be about 2 monsters for each color. 1 or maybe 2 for Type 0, and just 1 spot from another Final Fantasy part. Maybe also 3 for each color, but I think it will be about 2 monsters at maximum. I think Opus 5 gets about 2 monsters, I guess 2 or 3 monsters for each color. So it's maybe the same like the Opus 5. So yeah, I talked about Roberto Ferrari, that he draws some new illustrations, and 4 illustrations of the 5 new illustrations are just spoiled. We see also there's Setsuna, Arashia, Kazusa and Kurosama. Yeah, just from Type 0, but I want to talk about that later. So just 1 illustration is left. I'm not sure which color will it be, but I think it will be maybe the 3rd color is also from Ice, maybe from Lightning, I'm not sure. So we get to the first the Fire Legends, and we have the first one is Garland. If you control a Job Princess, the Job Knights forward you control gain Brave, and he has 2 specials for just dealing 7,000 damage or 5,000 to everything and break 1 forward. He has 9,000 power level, and he costs about 5 CP. So another Garland is just good. I think also that this Garland is a very good Garland next to the I think it was Opus 3, the 4 CP Garland. He has also another special, so it could be a very good mix, also very good for Mono Fire to just more aggressively playing. I see also the first effect about if you control a Job Princess. So I just checked it out what we have about just few princess cards. We have something like Ovelia or Clady or maybe Ash, just the princess card. There are also some other princes in, I think it was Earth, but it's not really enough because the most knight forwards you can find also in water. So I thought about Corella Agrias and the Final Fantasy IX cards about Beatrix Steiner, the typical combo. So can maybe good. I'm not sure about Garland, but we didn't get also all the cards of Final Fantasy 6, Opus 6. So I think this card is just good. So the next legendary card is Firion. And if you control a rebel, Firion costs 2 less. Now you must think about that. The most rebels are from Final Fantasy 2. The old cards like Opus 1 Maria or Opus 1 Leon, and yeah, there are not so much rebels there. And if your opponent has 3 or more forwards, Firion gets plus 1,000 power and haste, and put a backup in the break zone. Firion gets courage and first strike. So yeah, the first point is, yeah, there is also a notice there. Rebels are Guy, Maria, Leon, Joseph. They're not so much rebels, so I hope that comes sometimes more into the play. It's also a good card for comebacks, so also if you are far behind with fire and the enemy spread more and more forwards, it's just yeah, maybe 4 CP, 9k haste. That's still good. Also maybe it can be about 2 CP, because if you control a rebel, it's very cheap for that. Very good value. And you can destroy important backups with, yeah, it's Fusoya, Rauban, Goomba. You can, yeah, I mean, who wants to play Goomba? I'm not sure. But you can erase your Fusoya just to send some damage, and you can get some forwards back. Maybe something with a special effect or like something else. Also, Rauban can be very good. So you can play cards like Rauban more often. Yeah, I think Firion, we will see that in play. Also in competitive game, I think. Next one is Legends about Earth. We get Leo with 1000 power, 1 CP. For each character other than Leo you control, Leo gains 1000 power. Backups you control can't produce CP of any element. Yeah, that's it's just a legend card, but 1000 power, 1 CP. At first I thought, that's not so cool, but then I thought about, yeah, what about, yeah, it's each character, so it's about forwards, backups, and about monsters. So what other color is here very important with monsters? So I thought about water, and something like water, earth, monsters, maybe a mix. Also just Seraphim to get something back of just important forwards, like maybe Kefka. You can erase also your things. Maybe a good 2-color deck, also here with Mira, Realm. I think if we will see some more better monsters, there's also the Earth monster coming from Type 0. So maybe it's cool if you can play a very tempo aggressively monster deck. So you have Leo with 1 CP, you have all these monsters with 1 or 2 CP, you have Realm, Mira also with 2 CPs, and you can play Casca not for 8 CP, but you can destroy or put 3 monsters into the break zone, maybe some with some backups, and just break anything if you can't come through your opponent. So did we see Leo? I'm not sure. Also the thing about backups you control can produce CP of any element. There's also the Cactor in Earth, so you can deal about 16,000 damage for 4 CP. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm not sure what we'll see. I'm in limited. Also not sure. It's some like mediocre, but it's cool to see more cards about that the game wants that you want to play dual colors. So I want to go to Wind because we already saw one Earth Legend we get at next Maria. So 2 CP, 5,000 power. She's a rebel. Final Fantasy 2, of course, and yeah, she has a dull effect for 1 category 2 forward other than Maria. It gets 2,000 power until end of turn just for a dull. I think that's pretty insane. Not good, but it's really insane. I think the biggest problem is about that Wind is actually a support color, and you mostly mix it with something. But I hope you can play more mono Winds, so I hope it's getting better and better. And we have a dual effect with deal 1000 damage to all the forwards opponent controls, so it's something like the Dancer from Opus 1 and Opus 3. It's the same effect. It's cost about, effectively the 1 CP. It's just the same effect. Also the 2000 power is just like the 1 CP Golem, just with no effect. It's, something like that. And the last effect is 1 Wind and dull. Choose 1 forward. During this turn, the next damage dealt is reduced by 3000 instead. That's something cool. It reminds me a bit of Element Toys. Yeah, something like that, without a draw card. Okay. But the thing about Wind is also that you can activate some you can trigger to something activates with maybe Asura, or there's also the White Mage. You can activate something and you can dull again, so you can trigger into trigger into trigger into trigger. So you can maybe with some combos or maybe some combo tricks. So you can push with Maria forward maybe plus 4000 power, or maybe plus 6000 power. So that can be maybe very interesting about some big combos, and just just the wombo combo. The next one is Yuna from the water, and she's a 6 CP 8000 power Gal Wings. And if she enters the field, you can play 1 Gal Wing forward from your hand onto the field, or search for 1 job Gal Wing forward other than card name Yuna and add it to your hand. Yeah, it's just searching a Gal Wing forward, so you can't search Brother. That's a bit sad, but yeah, Brother is just good to pick Yuna from your deck, to search something, to play something extra. Like here you have the Riku, you have Pain, you can with Pain search a Riku, and you can get maybe all 3 in 1 turn. So Yeah, I'm not sure about this card. The second effect is just okay. It's 1 CP, remove 3 summons in the break zone from the game, choose 1 forward going activated, and it gains 1000 power until end of turn. Still a cool card. If we will see this card against the Yuna backup, there's also the 5 CP backup, the 2 CP backup for lower cost summons. I'm not sure if we will see that Yuna in the play the games. And maybe a aggressively going deck. I'm not sure. We will see. And the next one is Minu, and he's 4 CP, about 7000 power. And if he enters the field, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and you can add 1 summon to your hand and return the other to the bottom of the deck. And if he attack, you can cast 1 summon of cost 4 or less from your hand without paying the cost. So I think Minu is pretty strong. So I'm also looking about actually dual color decks. So you mostly play, if you play mono water, it's cool to get maybe just Future Lane or maybe Leviathan if you want to save something to get through sound in. I'm not sure. Also Bismarck can be very good. In the dual colors you can pick Odin. There are a lot of decks. They're playing water and lightning or water wind. There's also the new Diablos who can be very good. I'm not sure, but it's the best if you can play a 4 CP summon without paying the cost. Chuchuline, yeah, you draw 1 extra card. That's very cool. And you can play Odin to destroy something. But the thing is, if he attacks, you must auto-react, and you can. It's not like it's a combat trick. So. But we will see Minu maybe in play. There's also the Minu backup. Yeah, the Minu backup is very, very strong, but I see more or less of these cards of the backup menu. It gets less and less, so I think the forward could be a new good key card for water decks. So we have Legends and Lightning, and we get the first is Tian Yen, and he's a 5 CP 8000 Dragoon from Final Fantasy XIV, and if you control 5 or more backups, he gets haste. That's pretty strong, so very good for late game. And when Estinian is blocked, break the blocking forward, and you can pay 1 CP to activate him, 1 lightning CP, and Estinian can attack once more this turn. You can only use its ability during your turn, only once per turn, so the effect just is blocked, break the blocking forward. It's just like the 1 CP Matthias common from Opus 5, and I know from Ice that this card is very, very strong. So effectively it's a 4 CP 8000 guy. And that's okay. That's okay for a Dragoon. And yeah, you know Dragoon, you can buff it. There's also the new Dragoon. There's Kane, and there's King of the Bermercia. You can have it for 3 CP. It's an X burst. You can search for a Dragoon. So can you can search for Estinien if it's maybe about late game. So also it's for mono lightning control games. So do we will see this card in the game? Yeah, I think it's a very, very strong card. So maybe also an overpowered card. So you can buff it. You have Lulu, you have the other Dragoons, you have Kane. You have also some combat tricks. So it can be about 10,000, 11,000, and if your enemy has enough damage points, you must able to block this guy, and they just break without combat damage. And that is hilarious good. So I think we will definitely see is 10 yen in this game. Also, I can say for limited, for the pre-release, this guy is just nuts. So, whew, watch it out. We have also the Ice Legend Kuja. He's a 9000 guy, 5 CP expert, so yeah, it's just a 5 drop in ice. We have so many 5 drops in ice, so it's gonna be harder. And the expert is, if he enters the field, choose one forward or monster opponent controls, dull it or freeze it, and put 2 ice backups into the break zone. Return Kuja to your hand. You can only use this ability during your main phase and if Kuja is in the break zone. I'm not sure if this card will be very strong. The thing is, the experts dull and freezes is just like Shiva. It's about 3 CP. Okay, mostly the effect of dull and freezing it a forward, or just like a monster, is worth about 1.5 CP or maybe 2 CP. So Kuja is about 3 CP, 9000 guy, just like that. Also, I'm not sure about the second effect, about to get Kuja back to your hand. I think it's too slow to get Kuja back. It's very good if you have just pretty strong forwards with 10,000, 11,000, and it gets higher and higher. And ice is just an element where you didn't have so much strong forwards, but you have so much 5 and 6 drops. Actually, you have Sid Orstein, you get often, yeah, also many 4 drops. Yeah, and just cards like Inu from, I think, yeah, it was Opus 3, you can remove cards from the game. Also, that's, I think Inu is a hard counter for something like Kuja, because you can use the effect of Kuja only on your main phase, and I think that's the slow. Also, the Ravan's Valkyr from Lightning can remove Kuja from the games, and you can't react to that. So I'm not sure if Kuja will be good. We will see that. I'm not sure. I'm very not sure if something will put Kuja into the deck. Maybe 1 or 2 times, but nothing more. We will see that. Also, the important 5 drops, or maybe 6 drops often, and Sid Orstein, they're sitting just on the bench of most ice decks or mono ice decks. So I'm not sure if we will see Kuja in the game. Maybe also for a mixed deck, I've thought about ice water. So not sure. The legend in light is Ravas Valgir, or Res Valgir. I think it's AE, so it's R. And he's 6 CP, 9000, and if he enters the field, he's also from Final Fantasy XIV. You can select one of the following actions: skip your opponent's attack phase and remove your 5 top cards from the game. Choose one character in your break zone, add it to your hand, remove all the cards in your opponent break zone from the game. So yeah, remove it all from the game. That's a massive, just like the Inu we know from Opus 3, just remove everything. Yeah, choose one character in your break zone, add it to your hand. Thought about Golbez, just another 6 drop if you get something like I don't know, Winsidan, or something like Ice. There you had to discard Golbez, or if Golbez is removed or into the break zone and didn't trigger, I don't know what else other cards are coming, but I think it's not bad to get Golbez another time back, so you can trigger and trigger it again. Maybe okay for an aggro deck too. So the card is also then 4 CP worth, so it's 4 CP 9000 because you get one character back. I thought about also mono ice, because you can you have in mono ice some drops you can't get back, everything with 5 CP or higher. So I thought about Orphan and Sid Orstein. You get these 2 important cards back. Yeah, maybe also not bad. And you get something else just for revive. You can get a Sage back, maybe a Devout, everything else a character. But the important thing is you can also remove all the cards and your opponent breaks them from the game. So Sage will be more worthless, and also the Devout, because Devout can only during the controller's turn. So if you remove all the break zone cards from the game before, so the card's getting more worthless and worthless. So I think we will see definitely also this card. But I don't know how much. Maybe 1 time, 2 times. It's not easy to say. But we will definitely see this card. Yeah, then I want to go to the hero cards and Fire. Yeah, we get, if you know that from the beginning, we get 4 hero cards for each color. So we have Guy with 3 CP, 7000 power, Brave. For each category, 2 character other than Guy you control. Guy gains 1000 power. Yeah, there are not much backups actually revealed, but maybe some forwards getting into the play too. So, and when Guy is put from the field into the break zone, activate all the forwards you control. That's pretty strong. So also very good if you want to block. You can first attack with Guy, then blocking with Guy before go all in with the others. Maybe combo attacks pretty aggressively. Then we have Satsuna, 6 CP. All your fire summons does plus 1k more damage, and you can search for 4 CP summon or less and play it instantly. Yeah, I think this is pretty strong, so it's worth about 4 CP, because you can get 1 summon into your hand and automatically play it. So it's about 4 CP, because it's, yeah, you know it. I think we will also see this card, not sure how much, but it's a good filler card. So the third guy is the Dark Lord, 3 CP, 8000 power. When he enters the field, remove the top 10 cards of your deck from the game, and at the beginning of your attack phase, choose up to 1 forward, deal 3000 damage. That's pretty aggressively. 3 CP, 8000 sounds pretty good. Yeah, you remove the top 10 cards from your game. That's a big minus, but at the beginning of your attack phase, choose up to 1 forwards, deal 3000 damage, so you can combine it with many Ifrits. You can combine it with Fusoya, so you can deal each turn 10,000 damage, or maybe with some Ifrits you did maybe 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, so you can bomb just the enemies out, and you get through and through in, and you get in every time all in with this card. So I'm not sure. I think this card can be very, very good if it's maybe mono fire deck, which can be very aggressively thought also about fire wind decks, where you can activate just like you have all that low guys with 1, 2, 3 CP, maybe also with Zemos. Yeah, Zemos, we didn't saw that play, but I think we can see Dark Lord in a heavy aggressively play, and if the enemy is not Earth, or not Earth, because Veilfor we didn't see that so much, but Earth because of Shantoto. Yeah, I'm not sure about this card. This can be very, very good. I thought all the time about Fusoya, all that Ifrit combos, just for low CP, and the new Bahamut that will show later, where you can bomb all the time. Maybe you are very aggressive, you have no cards in hand, but you get maybe the most forwards of your enemy down, so let's see. The last hero card is Mont Blanc, so it's a 2 CP backup from Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 2. So, and it has 1 fire CP and Dahl. Choose 1 forward, deal 2000 damage for each category FF2A forward you control. I'm not sure if we see that play. I was a bit sad if I saw that it's about for each Tactic Advance 2 forward, because there are so many backups. I thought also about the other Moogles. Yeah, maybe more for a Moogle deck. There's not so much FF2A 2 forwards. The most are from Wind, so maybe for Wind Fire deck. Not sure if we will see that with Luso. I think that was also with Adele. Yeah, I'm not sure if we will see Mont Blanc, but it's a very cool effect, so I hope we see some game with that Moogle. Other fire cards in that getting spoiled for Opus 6 is are here. Yeah, which cards are impressive me a bit was the top row. It was all about Final Fantasy VIII, so we get Kira, Selfie, Zelda, Ruby Dragon, all from Final Fantasy VIII. More for maybe Fire Ice, Final Fantasy VIII, just buffing with Renoir or searching with Renoir, just more with Scroll, Laguna play, so I think we will also more see some ice cards with Final Fantasy VIII. Maybe some fire, ice, lightning cards. I think there are coming a lot of more slots for ice, Final Fantasy VIII, so let's we should be getting surprised. So there are also just more summons, Bahamut, Neo Bahamut. Yeah, not sure about that. There's also the Sid from Final Fantasy XI. I think that's a pretty strong card. And yeah, the last one is Dominion Legionary from Final Fantasy Type 0. Yeah, don't want talk about all that cards, so because the video goes about maybe 3 hours, so if you have ideas for some cards which I want to talk about, you can write it in the comments, and yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so we are here at the Earth Hero cards, so we get Ishtala, Final Fantasy XIV, we get a Warrior of Light and Ajido Marujido. And yeah, we will see also there everything in play. Yeah, maybe more for the Final Fantasy XIV starter decks, the Scion deck, Earth just seeing very good. Maybe I also was impressive about the Ajido, because cast 1 summon from your hand without paying the cost. So I thought about 4 CP, 6 CP, Atmos, something like that, and you can choose 2 summons in your break zone, add it to your hands. Pretty insane. So you can recycle more and goes more into late game. Also the Warrior of Light. You can play more with standard units, Warrior of Light getting buffed, and you can buffing all with the special effects. So yeah, maybe the Earth, Water, standard unit decks are coming back. I'm not sure. We will see. There are also some other Earth cards that getting revealed. Was also impressed about the bottom row with the Cactura for Multicolor Decks. Also thought with Chaos or the other darkness card which can, I think, you can produce, but then about 2 or 3 different colors. So for multicolor deck, Cactua will be very, very good, and I will have an eye off then, about that. Also a bit impressive about Mushushu, choose one die forward, break it. Very cool monster. Yeah, and also the Scholar, Mughal Brothers, yeah, just okay. Also the Epitaph, just for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, maybe more Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle play. Yeah, but it will take some Opus, maybe 7-8, that we get some Crystal Chronicle cards more. It's getting worth. So we get also the win cards. We get only one reveal in the spoilers, and we get Leon 8000 for 1 CP. And when he enters the field, your opponent gains control of Leon. And when a category 2 character of your opponent enters the field, your opponent gains control of Leon. So you give it first to your opponent. That's not very great, but if you play then after that another Final Fantasy 2 character, you get it fast back. So, but it changed all the time, so you can see if your opponent plays also Final Fantasy 2 characters. Yeah, I'm not sure if Leon will be very good. I thought also about the Darkness card. There's also the Emperor of in Darkness from Opus 2, from Opus 1, from Opus 5, the Ice Emperor. So you see these guys, fair enough, but not sure if Leon will be worth that. I'm not sure about that. We get also some other wind cards. Very impressive about the White Mage, also an anti-counter for the Kuja, because you can choose one card and your opponent breaks them and remove it from the game. So White Mage will be a very good card against Kuja, and it's just a 2 CP backup, so I don't think that so 1 point more that we won't see Kuja in the game. So there are also some other cards, some Chocobo, yeah, why not, okay, cool. So we can maybe more aggressively Chocobo decks with searching, X-Burst, and so on. We get all that Rico Pain. Yeah, just Final Fantasy X, and we get also the Diablos. That was an insane card, and I thought about that because it's 3 CP, choose one forward, and its power becomes 4000 until end of turn, and you draw one card. So you draw one card that's worth about 2 CP, so Diablos is around 1 CP. And 4000 power, maybe with buffs, it's about 5-6,000. You can do it on a big forward, and yeah, that's pretty insane. I thought about then maybe now it's a good filler card for a wind ice deck. Can be very, very, very good. Yeah. You have also the other summons like Chaos, the 5 CP Diablos. There are some very, very good cards in Wind. They are coming now. I thought also, is it a good deal to play maybe Wind Ice? You have also the Wind Sedan. You have also some other wind cards there where your opponent must show his hand. You have the Sid Polendina also too. I'm not sure if Mono Ice going into Wind Ice, so we will see that. Then also the wind cards. No, the Water Hero cards. We getting Imeric 9000, 5 CP. He doesn't receive damage that is less than his power, and when he attacks, all the forwards other than Imeric getting 2000 power. So that's very, very good but there's a big minus that you can't see at first, but the 5 drop at water is mostly full, so you're getting all that Lena, you get Cloud of Darkness. There's so much 5 drops, and I'm not sure where you should play or put Imeric into the deck. I think I'm not sure if we will see this card maybe in dual color deck. That's very hard to say. So the next one is Sujin, and I say also, wow, why again a 5 drop in water? That's pretty hard. And when he enters the field, choose one forward with a power inferior to Sujin. You gain control of this forward until end of turn. So it's from Final Fantasy X here, and he has only 7,000 power, and I don't think this card will be good, because there are so much cards like Cyclops, some activation effects, also some like Diablos, what can reduce the power of Sujin, so you can lower the power of him, and if your opponent play then Sujin, and Sujin has maybe about 3,000 power, or maybe 2,000 power, because you reduce it, he can't get in control of something, so I don't think that we will see anything about Sujin. I think this card will be very, very bad. Next one is Scott. He's about 3 CP, 4,000 power, and he gets 1k power for each backup you control. So that so if you play it late game, it's good. It's also in about turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. About that's okay. And if you control Hilda, Scott, and Gordon, gain Braves. You have also Gordon from Opus 1, where you can reduce damage to 0. Yeah, that's also not bad. And we see Hilda, so we will see another Hilda. I'm not sure if where Hilda will be. I think Hilda will be a wind card. I think Hilda is a wind card. That's my that's my thoughts about it, and I'm not sure, but Scott can be maybe very, very good. We will see them. Maybe in the game. Maybe also in Water Wind with Leon. It's not a bad card. So other water cards, there's some cool cards. Tordan 7 with search for 1 card and add it to your hand. Yeah, okay, a bit pretty expensive, but it's an X burst. Yeah, and when it's getting into the break zone, so I'm not sure if this card will be very good. There also was very impressive about the Ico. If you play a summon this turn, Ico costs 1 CP, and you can also for a special searching for 1 summon, so you're getting the big summons like Zodiac, Ultimecia. I think Ico will be also a very good backup. Also some just the new monster for water. Yeah, that's okay, not bad. Astrologican was very impressive, where say reveal the top card of the deck. If it's a backup, add it to your hand. If not, to do it in a break zone. Thought about the Yol from the Opus 5 starters, the ice, so you can maybe ice water. You can look at each turn, and if it's a backup, put it into your hand. So that can be maybe a very good value with Astrologican. Thought about water ice, and yeah, maybe, not sure. Also a new Leviathan. And you can also look at about the other cards. If I should talk about other cards, you can comment it under the video in the comments. Just write it down, and give me some tips for that. At next we get Lightning Hero cards, and we're getting Kane, who has Also something like 3 CP, 9000, that's pretty strong, but when a dark forward enters the field, your opponent gains control it, and that's like the same, just like Leon, but it doesn't trigger so much often, so not sure if we see Kane in playing in the game, but so maybe it's like 50-50, but it's a very good aggressive card, so you can pump it up also with other Dragoons. Yeah, just 11,000, 13,000, maybe 12. Pretty strong forward. Yeah, then we have Fremelda. When Fremelda enters the field, choose one active forward opponent controls, deal 4,000 damage for each job Sword Saint. And yeah, 4 CP 8,000 is just good, but you deal 4,000 just for your own Sword Saint of Fremelda. And there's only that other Sword Saint, he's that yeah, it was that old light forward from Opus, I don't know, Opus 1 or Opus 2. That, yeah, and there are not much more Sword Saint in the game actually. Maybe it will be good at later if we see this card in competitive play. I'm not sure. And we have the last card, Arashia. And this card, one summon, search for one summon it added to your hand. Yeah, that's pretty good if you have a summon toolbox to getting some important summons, like maybe there's also the type 0 Odin where you can break everything for 4 CP. Yeah, or maybe some just to summon whatever you need. And Arashia costs only 2 CP. That's pretty good. And yeah, maybe thought also about type 0 lightning fire deck with just the Ifrits, Odins, and all that summons that you need in the game. Just all that with the 0 cadets, the Lessier, Semos. Yeah, not bad. Then we're getting some other lightning cards. We get, yeah, some cool cards. Also, yeah, Estinien. Not sure if this card is good, but it's because it's just like the Nimbus Lessier from, I think, Opus 3 from Ice. You can only pay with CB produced by lightning backups. Oh, that's hard. Yeah, Raijin, maybe also Final Fantasy 8 card, very hard. Cypher, 3000 power, I'm not sure, but you get rich like Otimesia. Yeah, but not sure. Quetzalcoatl seems like a very good summon. It's about 4000 power worth. I think we will see that summon. Also about that Eden, he's 3 CP, 5000, and he gets unblockable if your opponent has 3 or more forwards. Not bad. And yeah, also the Colossus, the Dive Fern, the 2 monsters from Type 0. I thought more and more about a Lightning Fire Type 0 deck just with monsters, because you have so much backups and you have now so much monsters where you can just shooting anywhere. You have Cater, you have size to reduce the power to shooting 1000 power there, 1000 damage there, and also Colossus, if he attacks, do 1000 damage to all forwards, and you're shooting, you are just like a shooting star with Colossus. Also that so many backups in the Type 0 backups, which doing enemy loss losing 2000 power or 2000 damage or 1000 damage, or yeah, 2000 damage if it's get damaged before. And the Dive Fern is also not bad. Destroy forward of cost 3 or less. Seems for me pretty good. Just like the Odin. Yeah, just 1 CP, it's very good. Some very good aggro cards you can see mostly play on curve. Not sure if it's getting so aggressively. Yeah, we will see that. The Black Mage are not good. 2 CP and the effect for mostly 6 CP, and dull it and put it in the breakzone for just 9000 damage. We don't also see this card in the game. Then we have the Ice Hero cards, and there's only one Ice Hero revealed, and it's Kurasama, 5 CP, Expert 7000, so that's don't looking good, but let's hear it again. It's Expert when he enters the field. Let's search for one Emina or one Kazuza and add it to your hand, and all Ice forwards getting plus 1000 power, so it's about like Arc or Ingus, or just a fire thing, I'm not sure. Luneth, I think it was this card. It's just a forward buffer. So that seems first pretty good, but 7000 power is extremely low, so it can be a very good target for Fusoya or some other summon, but it's very cool that you can search for an Emina or a Kazuza, so Kurasama can be about then 3 CP, because you're getting one card in your hand, and one card in your hand is worth about 2 CP, and you can getting Emina to play it just to reduce the cost for Kurasama by 1, and also by Kazuza. So if it's getting Expert and you're getting Emina and you have one Kurasama in your hand, or maybe some Kazuza, you can play your Kazuzas just for 1, you can play your Kurasama for 4, that's not bad. And also the new Kazuza for Opus 6, who will pay about 4 CP and dealing 10,000 damage, and if it's not wind or water, it can be maybe good. And we're getting on the other ice cards. I'm not sure about these cards, but first I saw the summoner and I thought, wow, that's very good, a summoner for 3 CP and 1 CP, and put it in the break zone, dull it, and put 2 ice summons from the break zone to your hand. That's very insane. Also about the sellers from Final Fantasy VI, so you can also play with the Opus 4 sellers to negate more and more summons. Not sure if we need then Harley and Edward then again, and if we see more sellers in play, because now of the Opus 6 sellers, so you can activate the special effect more often. Also about the lock, the top 5 cards, and maybe one category is 6 cards from to your hand. I'm not sure if this locker is so good. Same as Isale for 4 CP, search for 1 ice forward. I'm not sure if this card will be very good, because you have also the mock from Opus 1, and you have also the Gestalian Empire Sid, where you search mostly of the 6er cards. So not sure if you will see the 4 CP Isale, because you have so much search cards. You have this Gestalian, you have the mock, you have then after that maybe the Setzer, maybe the lock if you want to play it 1 or maybe 2 times. So I don't think that we will see Isale into the play. You can also with the mock, you can get Sarah, you can get Snow, you can also with the mock 13 Orphan, you get the mostly all the 90% or 80% of all important ice cards with the 6er searcher or the 13 searcher. So I'm not sure if you will see the Isale. There's also the Doom Train. I think the Doom Train is very, very good if you want to play discard mono ice. So it's worth about 2 CP if your enemy has 1 card in his hand or less, and you can deal 9,000 damage to a dull forward. I think that's very good. And finally a summon, or finally a card for ice, where you can deal damage. There was only the Shiva, but the Shiva has a multi-trigger because it remains because of the Shivas in your break zone, and that was not easy to deal with it. Also the Glacial Labolas, but I think the Doom Train can be very, very good here. The Snow Giant, yeah, the monster, it's just okay. We will maybe see that, I'm not sure. Also the hardest pretty expensive 5 CP, choose one dull forward, break it, and your enemy must discard one card from your hand. So one discard, it's about 2 CP less, so it's a 3 CP hardest break just for one dull forward. So if your enemy plays with wind or water, it will be very sad to play hardest and negate it. Yeah, I was a very bit surprised about Snow, because if you control card named Sarah, Snow gets 1000 power, and if you control a category 13 forward other than Snow, Snow gains 1000 power. So there are not much any 13 characters. Thought also about Lightning Eyes, again with Gilgamesh. We have also that Sarah from Opus 1, from Opus 5, Opus 4. We get also that backup Sarah, where Snow can't be a target of an ability, so that can be also very good. And 3 CP 7000, it's mostly getting a buff, so 8 or 9000 for 3 CP. Sounds good. And we're getting also one card at the end, and Spiritus can be played onto the field even if you control other dark characters, so it's something like Chaos is 4 CP, and yeah, you can play 2 or more dark characters, just like same like Chaos, and when it enters the field you may search for one dark forward, and that's very good to getting your dark forwards into your hand. You're getting your key cards, you can getting Camler Note, so you can play Camler Note next turn and you get after that Chaos, or you can play Chaos first if you also have a Camler Note in your hand too. You can getting maybe everything with Spiritus, very good searcher. You can also get your Emperor if you need it. I think we will also see Spiritus in the game. It's not too slow, you're getting also another card into your hand. I'm not sure how many recycle cards are coming into the game, but we will see. And I think about half of the cards are also revealed this way. So that's it. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my new channel if you want maybe more infos, or maybe some trash talks about some cards. What do you think about that? Do you want a special analysis about some cards that I'm missing, or maybe that are very important? Maybe also with the Opus 6, where you think, oh, what's about that Opus 3 card? Or what about that Opus 4 or Opus 2? We didn't see that in the game, but maybe it's now good. If you found it, just say it in the comments and maybe we can talk about that. Do you have other thoughts? Or maybe you want to look about the pre-release? Do you want some advice for the pre-release? Or should I play some ratings about some cards which you should pick in the pre-release and what should you not into the pre-release? Just write it in the comments, and I hope you I get some advice and some great comments from you. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.